Welcome to the Tangled Earphones, and today I am joined with Grif Benzel. Would you like to introduce yourself, Grif?
Sure, I'm Grif. I'm the Special Events Coordinator for KXSU, Seattle University's student-run radio station, as well as an Assistant Music Director at the station.
Oh, so exactly what do you do?
I coordinate the off-campus events, and I help out our main music director with getting music in rotation and just putting music in the system for DJs to play. And then I also have my own show on the station.
Sounds like you know a lot about music.
I'm a music geek.
All right, and what are your thoughts on music right now, 2016?
It's been a good year, kind of the year of comebacks, which I mean is kind of like duh, because we've had the Avalanches put out a new album after 17 years, 15, something like that. American Football came out with a new album after 17 years. We had the Garo Gary Gay Gay Gay, an obscure Japanese noise band, come out with something new. So it's been a weird kind of comeback year for all these seminal acts.
Mm-hmm. So what would you say is your favorite genre of music?
Overall, that's a hard question because I'm so, moody with music. Not moody, but, there's so much music. I don't know. I like ambient a lot, which is kind of surprising I would think, but I like ambient a lot.
I like ambient. Have you heard that ambient that kind of is always going up? It never has that sudden, crash. It's always just, you're waiting for it to come down, and it doesn't.
No, it sounds kind of stressful.
It is super stressful.
I like, drone ambient, a lot of William Basinski, that kind of stuff.
Oh, wow. And what's your favorite album this year?
Oh, man. That's a tough one. The Garo Gary Gay 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 put out a really good dark ambient release. And then Negative Land, they put out some, compilation of a radio show they did called The Chopping Channel. And they actually sent out the album with ashes of one of the passed away members with the album if you pre-ordered it. So I sent their label a request for their album. And I didn't expect them to send me any ashes or anything, but they sent me ashes, and so now I have human remains, I guess.
What do you do with these human remains?
I don't know. I've kind of just kept them. I don't know what to do with them because I don't want to be weird, but I also respect them a lot. So it's how do you not be weird while respecting this band? I don't know.
It's strange to make ashes a commodity, but
yeah,
sounds interesting.
It's kind of like an extension of their them because they do they're sound collage, and so they chop up, all this different music, and I guess their idea was we're gonna chop up our friend, and that's the final extension of our art. I don't know, they're really weird. The album itself is really funny. It's called Over the Edge Volume 9, The Chopping Channel, and it's hilarious.
How would you describe their sound, kind of?
How would I describe their sound? Kind of mildly chaotic, like a caricature of a lot of pop culture, very sarcastic. The whole album is this big take on consumerism and stuff, which we get it. I don't know, artists and their anti-consumerism.
Oh, all the time. And what would you say was kind of the best year for music in your lifetime?
In my lifetime, man, there's been so many. I really like a lot of 90s music, which I think is kind of because I grew up in the 90s, or late 90s, so I kind of have this fascination with end of the 90s, Y2K. But I think I was talking with a good friend of mine the other day about years, and 2009 kind of stood out. I think it had the first Real Estate album came out that year. Joan of Arc put out a new album that year. 2009 just was a pretty good year for music that year.
Yeah. And how do you kind of feel about pop music nowadays? Kanye West, Frank Ocean.
Carly Rae Jepsen put out my favorite pop album of 2015, which isn't hard to do because I don't listen to a lot of pop music. But that, I don't know, opened my eyes to pop music being, I don't know, more interesting. I love Kanye. I thought his album was good. Life of Pablo. I was really disappointed by Frank Ocean, Blonde. That just, I don't know, compared to his first album, Channel Orange, it wasn't really, I don't know, as interesting.
Yeah, Channel Orange was a really good album.
Yeah.
I think everyone was a little disappointed, especially since they waited for so long for it to come out.
Yeah, it just was... Channel Orange had some really memorable moments, but Blonde was just okay, well, I'm not going to remember any of this.
And is there any band you're really excited to see soon?
Yeah, Joan of Arc. They're coming in December, I think, to the Vera Project up in Queen Anne, and I've been a Joan of Arc fan for years. They were really important to me in high school when I was really getting into like post-rock, experimental rock, and the whole crossover with emo in the late '90s. So I'm really excited to see them.
Yeah. How would you describe their sound and kind of what they talk about and what they write about?
Kind of like, I guess maybe clumsy. I mean, they kind of vary their stuff. Like each album is supposed to have a different set of musicians generally. And the like guy behind the whole project, Tim Kinsella, he's kind of crazy. So it's just kind of, I don't know, this awkward but not group. I don't know. Yeah, they're good.
If you could suggest one album to someone and you completely don't know their preference in music, what would it be?
No, any album at all?
Yeah.
Oh, that's a tough question. Like, any album, just one of my favorites?
Just something you'd want someone else to hear.
I'm gonna say this is kind of a obscure album. It was there's this band called Sauna, and the owner of Temporary Residence Records was in this band. They're from late 90s, early 2000s, and they're like ambient post-rock, but they have this album called Smile, and the World Smiles With You, and the cover is this shot of a bunch of trees from, like you're looking up at trees, and it just really reflects the sound of the album. I don't know, I've never heard like guitars and drums sound so organic, and it's just, the quiet optimism in the title is really reflected in the music, and I just love like ambient and post-rock. I just think it's a really artful record made with guitars and kind of, I don't know, I almost want to say it's expressionist, if that's the right word. Probably not the right word, but
Sounds like the right word to me.
it's just I don't know, it's one of those records that just like strikes a chord in me, and I can't listen to it very often because it's just like one of those albums that like, you're like, wow, but I'd recommend that to anyone.
Oh, nice. You've definitely gotten me into some music. Yo La Tengo and American Football are just a few that you've shown me.
I love Yo La Tengo. Did I ever tell you I hugged all three members of Yo La Tengo one time?
You did not. What?
They played. There was a record shop up in Queen Anne called Easy Street Records. They had two locations, now only one. But Yo La Tengo played the last in-store for that in-store performance, and they were there, and I was interning at the time, and I just kind of walked up and like, I was really emotional because I was really connected to the store, and I just kind of gave them all a hug, and they were like, whatever, chill about it.
Oh, I want to hug my favorite artist. It'd be so fun.
We'll find them again. We'll find them on next tour, and we'll just go up and hug them.
Yes, I think that should be a goal. There's so many bands that always play in Seattle. We should just go up and
hug all of them. Let's do that.
I think it's a great plan. All right. Thank you for joining me, Grif. Do you have anything last thoughts you'd like to say?
Thank you for having me.
All right. Thanks.